Let me tell you, if you ever think a single moment can't change your entire outlook, let me prove you wrong. Picture this: I'm sitting in 1A, first class, the kind of seat most folks never even see unless they peek through that curtain when they board. And I'm not gonna lie, I gotten pretty comfortable thinking that was normal. My name's Julian Meyer, 32, made my money in tech before I knew what to do with it. And I built my life around little luxuries like that champagne on arrival, a seat that goes fully flat, and a butler who calls me by name. You get the idea. I was never rude, just detached, like the world outside my little bubble moved too slow for me. That day, though, flight LX218, Zurich to Cape Town Life decided to show me something I didn't see coming. The airport was humming with rumors of a delay, but I barely noticed, just lounging in the VIP suite, sipping espresso, scrolling headlines about markets and mergers, waiting for the boarding call. When it came, I was at the front of the line, adjusting my cuff links, already slipping into that buttery seat before half the passengers even stood up. Noise-canceling headphones on, menu open duck, Belgian chocolate, everything perfectly curated so you don't have to think about real life for a while. I was ready to disconnect, to drift above the world and ignore it all. But you know how sometimes life just shoves reality right in your face? That's what happened when I heard this faint, metallic tapping coming from the back of Walker, moving slow, steady, but with this sense of desperation. I glance up and see Hera, a small, frail, older black woman, wrapped in a white scarf, eyes full of a kind of exhaustion that goes deeper than just travel. There's a flight attendant guiding her, trying to keep her steady, whispering softly, but the old woman keeps glancing around, like she's lost, or maybe just overwhelmed. And then I see where they're taking her 42, way back by the engine, practically on top of the toilets. No space for her walker, barely any for her dignity. I'm watching all this from 1A, feeling, I don't know, uncomfortable, like I'm seeing something I'm not supposed to see. The attendant's voice is gentle, but the old woman's face crumples. She can't do it, not 12 hours crammed back there. For a second, nobody moves, and then, without even thinking, I stand up. Switch her seat with mine, I say, loud enough for people around to hear. The attendant blinks. Sir, you're in 1A. I just nod. Yeah, I know. Give it to her. People in business class start muttering. One guy even laughs. But I don't care. I just can't let this woman suffer through that flight. We help her up front, and as she sits slow, careful, trembling, she reaches for my wrist and looks me in the eye. You're giving up this for me? I just shrug. It's only a seat. She smiles, faint but real. And for the first time, I see a little light come back in her eyes. You remind me of someone, she whispers, then settles in. The crew brings her hot tea, tucks her in. She's safe, and for reasons I can't quite explain, I feel lighter. Now, you want a taste of irony? Economy is exactly what you'd expect: cramped, tray table sticky, knees bumping the seat ahead. The woman next to me offers me a cookie from her bag, and I thank her, thinking how different it feels back here. Not many people would do what you did, she says. I just nod. It wasn't planned. I try to settle in. For the first time in years, I don't feel like running away from my own thoughts. A few hours go by. I look up toward first class and see the old woman sleeping, her head wrapped in that white scarf, hands folded in her lap. Something tugs at meme guilt, maybe curiosity, maybe something else. When the flight starts to wake up for landing, I get up, make my way to the front. I peek in, and she's awake, watching me. She pats the seat beside her. Come, she says, like it's an invitation to a secret club. Let me tell you a story. I sit, a little awkward, not knowing what to expect. She reaches in her bag, pulls out this old, folded document, and hands it to me. I open it, and my heart skips. It's signed Dr. Nyota Elena. I recognize the name instantly, a legend. I saw her honored on TV not long ago, a humanitarian, a doctor who built clinics in war zones, negotiated peace where politicians failed, founded women's shelters across continents. I look up, stunned. You're Dr. Elena. She nods, a glint of mischief in her tired eyes. I used to be. Now I'm just bones and memory. But I know a good soul when I meet one. I stammer something like, I didn't know. She cuts me off, chuckling. That's why it mattered. You gave because you saw a person, not a title. I sit there, feeling suddenly unworthy of the gesture I'd made. Then she leans in and asks, "Do you know why I was in economy?" I shake my head. She sighs. "I just wanted to disappear for a bit. After all the boards, all the speeches, I just wanted to go home quietly. Not as DR. Elena, just as an old woman. But my body wouldn't let me. Then you showed up." She starts writing in a small leather notebook, then tears out a page and hands it to me. "This is for you. I only give out 3 a year. If you ever want to make a real impact, bring this to any Elena Trust office. We'll fund your project. No questions asked." I look down her contact, her seal, a promise of support for anything with purpose. She leans back, eyes sparkling. "If you ever get tired of chasing numbers, try chasing meaning instead." I can barely speak. "I don't deserve this." She smiles. "That's the point. You already earned it." When we land, she insists I go ahead. I like watching people carry more than they realize. I step off the plane holding the card, and for the first time, the world feels bigger, like there's more possibility than I ever let myself imagine. A month later, I did use the car not for myself, but to start an education program for kids who never got the chances I did. The first grant comes from the Elena Trust, and I named the foundation after my mother, who died of cancer when I was 17. Years pass, and when Elena passes in her sleep, her will includes a note about me. He gave without needing to know who I was, and in doing so, reminded me who I still am. You know, sometimes giving up your seat isn't just about the seat. It's about putting yourself in the path of something real, something life-changing, something that forces you to rethink what matters. So, let me ask you, where do you draw the line between comfort and compassion? Would you have done the same? Let me know what you think about justice, kindness, and the moments that reveal who we really are. Drop a comment below, let's talk about it. And if this story moved you, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and tell us where in the world you're watching from. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a single choice.